Well, hello. It's nice to see you. I'm glad that you've chosen to spend a little bit of time with me, and I'm going to use this time to teach you something about bird watching, about a way to identify birds. Each week, we will spend a little bit of time learning something from how we observe birds. Sound confusing? It'll make sense when you watch this. So please, let's see what we have in store for us today. Today's lesson from bird watching is about looking for the subtle, and I mean subtle, differences. At your feeder, you may get woodpeckers, especially if you put out suet. And if you're lucky, you might have more than one species. If you're really lucky, you've got maybe a downy woodpecker and a red-bellied woodpecker, which are really easy to tell apart. But you're probably going to find yourself in a situation sometime when you're trying to tell the difference between a downy woodpecker and a hairy woodpecker. And it is really difficult. You see, their songs sound almost the same, and they're hardly a song. It's just this staccato note, and the downy, at the end of its singing, drops down a little bit, whereas the hairy stays even. It takes practice to hear the difference. It's really subtle, and it takes a lot of experience, and you're still probably guessing in the end. It's not that easy until you've got lots and lots of experience. So the first lesson is stick with it. There is a trick, though, to determining whether it's a downy or a hairy woodpecker, and this is you have to imagine its bill. When it turns its head, if you took that bill and turned it back on itself, where would the tip of the bill come? Would it come back just to the eye or all the way to the back of the head? In other words, in relation to its head, how long is its bill? What's the proportion? Because hairy woodpeckers have bills that are quite long in relation to their heads, and downy woodpeckers not so much. So there's something for you to try. When you see the next woodpecker at your feeder, determine how long that bill is by looking at it carefully and imagining this twisting of the bill to determine its length. You see, there are many things in the world that are relative like that, relative to the individual, that make it unique. How often do we miss that? How often do we not pay attention to the subtle differences between people, just lumping them all together? Maybe we should pay closer attention, noticing the wonder of the diversity, of the little differences, because then perhaps we'll also enjoy and appreciate all of the wild and varied differences that the world presents, especially among those humans we encounter. So now, the lesson is yours. What did you learn? What does it mean to you from what you gathered in our time together? It's going to be different for each and every one of us. That's what learning is like. And I hope that in all of this, you will see that God has created a beautiful, wonderful, spectacular world with all these differences, in part so that you will know that you have a place in it, and all of it can make you feel better. It can make you feel wonderful that the world is so beautiful. So I hope that whatever you learned in this time will be something you can apply, you can practice in your life this week, every week. And maybe you will have something to share that you learn, and I would love to hear it. And others would love to hear it. So as you go from this time, go out and explore. See the world. Find what God has in store for you, and tell others about it. Until next time, bye.